Skeptics Review the Bible by John Smith. Xerxes could not sleep, so he ordered someone to tell him a night-night story. So his servants read to him from the recent chronicles of his reign. They recited how Mordecai had uncovered the plot on his life by 2 eunuchs. Xerxes decided that he had not properly honored the Jew yet. Meanwhile, Haman had just entered the palace. Xerxes asked Haman how the king should bestow honor on his servant. Haman thought Xerxes was talking about him, of course. So Haman responded, "Parade him through the streets, wearing your royal garments, sitting atop your royal steed." Xerxes thought that was a wonderful idea and told Haman to honor Mordecai in this way. So Haman was forced to endure honoring his enemy, who refused to bow down to him. Haman nursed his insult until he got home, where he complained bitterly to his wife and friends. At that moment, eunuchs from the palace invited Haman to Esther's second banquet. Xerxes again promised Esther that he would give her half of his kingdom if she so desired it. Esther answered, "Sire, if I have found favor with you, then I ask that you grant me my life and the lives of my people. If my people had only been made slaves, that wouldn't be enough to bother the person of the king with. Instead, my people are slated to all be killed." Xerxes asked Esther, "Name the person who has condemned your people for this slaughter." Esther named Haman. Xerxes, in a rage, left the banquet. Haman was very frightened and begged Queen Esther for his life. The king returned and saw Haman with the queen and thought Haman was about to do her harm. "In my own house you will lay hands upon my queen?" One of the eunuchs commented on the pole Haman had erected to impale Mordecai with. "Or the gallows to hang him with. Either or." So Haman was killed by King Xerxes with the very means he had planned for Mordecai. Hung, impaled, one of those. King Xerxes gave Esther all of Haman's estate. Mordecai was brought into the king's palace and given the king's ring. Esther then begged Xerxes to stop the edict to kill all of the Jews. Xerxes said that he could not rescind a proclamation signed and sealed with his royal ring. Instead, Xerxes told Esther to write another proclamation for the Jews alone and stamp it with the royal seal. Mordecai called in the king's secretaries and dictated letters to be distributed throughout all of the land. The letters stated that the Jews could fight back and destroy anyone who attacked them on the prescribed day. In every city and province, the Jews read this proclamation and celebrated. Many converted to the faith out of fear and self-preservation. On the prescribed day, the enemies of the Jews hoped to overpower them, but the Jews were ready. The Jews prepared in all of their cities and provinces. Many people were afraid of them. The nobles and people of rank helped the Jews because they knew Mordecai was in charge. The Jews killed their enemies, as well as the 10 sons of Haman. Xerxes reported to Esther that the Jews had prevailed in the bloody slaughter. Xerxes asked Esther what was her wish. Esther responded that she wanted the bodies of the 10 sons of Haman to be stuck and displayed on poles. Hung, impaled, one of those. In the end, the Jews killed 75,000 of their enemies. They declared this day of slaughter a day of feasting and celebration, and established it as the day of Purim. Mordecai recorded the events, and he became the right hand of Xerxes, which was written in the annals of the kings of Media and Persia. And that, viewers, ends the Ruth and Esther playlist.
Hey everyone, it's me, the Apostle Paul. I'm here to tell you about the book of Acts. Wait a minute, hold on, Apostle Paul. Lord Yahweh told me to tell you guys that he wants us to do Numbers and Deuteronomy next. But Lord Jesus told me that he wants us to do the book of Acts. Look at that, minions. It's another Christian non-choice. We either get Looney Tunes 1.0 or Looney Tunes 2.0. So go ahead in the comments below and vote for the book that you want John Smith to cover next. That's all for today, minions. And remember, it's the most wonderful time of the year.